Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's show on Coach's Corner. Tonight we're going to discuss tomorrow night's opponent, the 1-0 Bridgeport Bulldogs, who won a hard-fought win last weekend against Frontier. We're also going to have two Seminole football players with us tonight, Ethan Gillespie and Braden Stemper. But Coach, before we get into all that, I'd like to congratulate you on your win last Friday night against Belpre. It's been tough these last couple of years to come out of week one with a win. You know, we faced a really good Union local team 3 years ago, and then back-to-back games with Edison, who dresses 70 kids, and you know, at the time we had mid-20s or high 20s, so it's been very difficult. And I know that you guys have put a lot of time and a lot of effort into what you've done to get this team to where they're at now. You know, I watched Coach Sherman. He must have got caught up. He was the last one to come down the sideline across the track before kickoff, and you know, he come down through there clapping his hands, and it's Friday night, baby, it's Friday night, baby, and you know, kind of sent chills down your spine, you know, and I kind of seen that in the kids' eyes too. And you know, after the game was over, you know, particularly, you know, Coach Nixon, you know, there was of course, everyone's, you know, happy, you know, with the win and what have you, but it was almost a sense of relief that, you know, we've put in all this time and devoted all of our effort to get a win, and, you know, that, you guys did it as a team, and that was fantastic. So, great win against Belpre, Coach, great win.
Thank you. Yeah, going down there, I didn't know what to expect. Didn't know what to expect with the field. Like I said last year, didn't know what to expect player-wise. They were a little low in numbers, but you know, that doesn't mean anything. We've won games with 16 kids before here, so like you said, you put a lot of work in all summer. These kids have been practicing hard, 2-a-days, conditioning. They just wanted to play someone else for real, you know, for keeps. We kind of tell them it's for keeps starting now. So they were looking forward to. I could tell the energy was there, the intensity. I could tell before just walking out. You know, some of the senior leaders were up front. Whitaker, you could just see it in his eyes. He was ready to go. But you still don't know how the game's going to go. You know, you never know. Belpre looked like they were pretty fired up. Looked like they had a jersey change. So I think the coach handed out jerseys, and you do that to fire kids up and try to get them excited. And they were pretty fired up and excited, but. Kind of from the opening whistle, I thought just our size, our skill, our athletes were just better than theirs. You know what I mean? Just overall, everywhere, really. So it was a good opener, and I didn't know that you just talked about how these seniors have never won a week one game. I didn't even think about that. You know, didn't think about Logan Powell told me after the game, so that was kind of surprising. Nice to hear. It's a, you know, first for a senior, getting the, you know, starting out 1-0. And that always makes you feel better when you start out 1-0. Well, you know, better than 0-1. But, you know, we went down there, basically kind of took care of business. I thought offensively we looked really sharp. The starters didn't really play a lot of plays. I think they finished with the roughly 25 plays, somewhere in there. So the first team didn't get a lot of plays in on offense. But saying that, we finished with 205 yards rushing on only 17 carries, and passed the ball for 195 yards with 8 completions. So that's a total of 400 yards in just 29 plays. That's what it was. So that's quite a big, you know, the average per play is up there. Tucker Howe was the leading rusher and leading passer. He had 80 yards rushing on 4 attempts and 2 rushing touchdowns. And was 8 of 12 with 195 yards passing and 3 touchdown passes. Cooper Howe had 67 yards on 5 carries with 2 rushing touchdowns. Chance Allen was our leading receiver with 2 receptions on 90 yards, or 490 yards. Both of his receptions were touchdowns. Some really nice catches and nice runs. Cooper Howe and Tyler Whitaker each had 2 receptions, and Cooper getting a 51-yard touchdown, and Tyler getting a 40-yard touchdown receptions. Defensively, I thought we overpowered them all night. We ended up with 7 turnovers. So, I mean, that's a lot of turnovers. Really, it was almost one half we had 7 turnovers. We had that pick right at the beginning of the second half. So they had 3 interceptions. 2 of them were returned for touchdowns. We talked about Ethan already, and Logan Powell had another pick six. We had 3 fumble recoveries, and then Belpre had a total of 66 yards in the first half. They finished with 235, so they kind of kept their starters, which is fine. They only had about 17 players, kept their starters against our reserves, and did get some yards in the second half. But the first half, like I said, we held them to 66 total yards, which is pretty impressive to do. So Braden Stemper led the team, like we'll talk about later, with 8 total tackles. Did a heck of a job, kind of all over the field, special teams, linebacker. We also, like I said, had 2 pick sixes, so that doesn't happen too often, and it was nice to see 2 guys that really put in a lot of work. Logan and Ethan put in a lot of work in the weight room, on practice field, seemed to study, so I think that kind of showed. On special teams, I thought Max Demchek did a really good job returning punts and kicks. When he gets the ball in hand, he's a pretty elusive kid, makes a lot of guys miss. He returned 1 punt for 14 yards, and he had 1 kickoff return for 49 yards. And then our kicking game, it can be better, but Wyatt he did a pretty decent job. He was 4-7 on extra points, so he did have 3 misses. But I thought overall his kickoffs were really great. High kicks to get down about the 15-yard line, go past the 15, so did a good job on kickoff. So overall, I thought we executed what we wanted to do. We got to get better. There's always things to improve on, but overall, I thought we executed on all phases of the ball, offense, defense, special teams. But we did have some mistakes, we had some penalties, some things like that we need to clean up, and there's always room to improve. We can always be more physical, we can block better, we can run crisper routes, so there's always things to improve. So, we went over film, things like that, and showed the guys what they need to work on, what they need to improve, and hopefully we can do that tomorrow night.
Yeah, that was a great game to work on those things, like you mentioned, the mistakes, the penalties, the missed tackles. Like you said, Logan and Ethan, I'm really happy to see them with both of them had a pick six. And then you mentioned Max, the over-the-shoulder catch. Yeah. It was pretty impressive, too.
It was kind of scary. I was worried about it for a minute. But
yeah, get away.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Tucker, he's a special athlete. To have the yards passing that he had along with the rushing and to spread the ball out like he did to Coop and Chance, it's great to see Chance do well. I know there's some things to work on, but we'll tighten those things up and see what this week brings against Bridgeport.
Yeah, and like you said, it was nice seeing him spread the ball around. We had, I think, 5 or 6 guys with receptions, so that was nice to see. I mean, you don't want to be able to focus on one guy. But we have a lot of guys that can catch the ball, a lot of guys that can run the ball. So a lot of skilled guys to get the ball too, and that's what you like. That's what you want. You don't want the defense to be able to focus on one player.
Perfect, Coach. All right, we're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll have our first guest, Ethan Gillespie. Welcome back, everyone. We have our first guest with us this evening. It's Ethan Gillespie, starting linebacker. Ethan, thanks for joining us this evening, and congratulations on a big win Friday night.
Thank you.
You played a major role in the win, and it was a great performance by the entire defense, and you in particular. That's why you're with us here tonight. For not being real familiar with Belpre, we never played before. We only had a few films on them, like Coach mentioned last week, the season preview, the scrimmage he had, they didn't even have numbers on their jerseys. So it made it kind of difficult, I'm sure, to prepare for the game. I know Coach Sherman, for years, has been dedicated to watching every piece of film he can. So I'm sure him and Coach Shoemaker did a fabulous job preparing the game plan. Just explain to us, you know, how that defensive coaching staff got the entire defense prepared, because it was a lights out performance.
They do a great job at getting us as many details as they can, telling us what plays they like to run, which way they like to run, and who they like getting the ball to, and just what to look for. I mean, they make it a lot easier than just going in not knowing anything about it.
Yeah, perfect. I know last week I got a chance to look at the scouting report, and the whole first page was full of tendencies and what they like to do on the wide side of the field, and you know, when they run in the wing, the counters, the traps, and what have you. And there was a whole list of plays that I'm sure Coach Sherman and Coach Shoemaker had ready for you guys as far as formations. The defense forced 6 turnovers, actually 7. 4 fumbles and 3 interceptions, but we recovered 3 fumbles and 3 interceptions, and 2 of those interceptions were pick sixes, and one of those was you from about 30 yards out. As soon as you caught the ball, I kind of laid my eyes on the yard line, because I keep those stats, and then the rest was history. So tell us what you seen on that play, and what you did to read, make the interception, and make your way to the end zone.
I saw the running back, he got caught up on the O-line, and our guys were already in the quarterback space, so I knew he couldn't see that well, and I got lucky from there. He just threw it out there.
Threw it right to you, didn't
Yeah, he threw it right there. I didn't even have to react.
Untouched, weren't you?
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome, buddy. So Belpre ran a total of 39 plays on offense, and you had your hands in 8 of those plays. You finished the night with 7 tackles, and of course that 1 pick. I know Bridgeport's going to pose they've got some speed in the skill position, so we're going to have to be prepared for that. So what can we expect defensively this week from the Knowles defense?
We really have to work on setting the edge and keep our eyes on that quarterback, because we know he's shifting quick, and we just really have to get better at setting the edge, because they like to run it out line.
I know as a senior, you know, a lot of the underclassmen and even kids in junior high and Pee Wee, they look up to the seniors here on the football team. And I know you spent a lot of time in the weight room in your years at Seminole. What piece of advice would you give to the younger kids out there watching, even the underclassmen on this team?
You got to go into every game and play like it could be your last, because you never know what game could be your last and what play could be your last, and you just got to leave it all out in the field.
Yes, it's a great way of looking at things. Listen, buddy, we appreciate your time here. Thank you so much, and congratulations on a stellar performance last Friday, and we look forward to watching you the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Coach, you got anything to add?
Yeah. You know, Ethan's he's in a big group, you know, seniors, 13 kids, and he's been working hard. You know, you see him in the gym for the last couple of years, really working hard. And Ethan, there in the beginning, we had him in center, guard, tackle. He's played a little bit everywhere in offense. Kind of finding his niche this year at linebacker. And you can tell he's been putting the work in. You know, in the gym, like I said, him and Stiver, they're inseparable. Where they're in there every day. But I thought Friday night he had really good reps, looked good, and I can't really wait to just see him get better and better and better. You know, he's shown so far that he can play physical football, and I look forward to seeing what he can do the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We got 9 more and counting.
That's right.
And counting. All right.
That's right.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
We're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll have our second guest of this evening, Braden Stemper. Welcome back, everyone. We're here with our second guest this evening, number 10, Braden Stemper. Braden, congratulations on the big win last Friday night. You played a major role in the victory against Belpre. It was a great performance on both defense and special teams. As everybody knows, you're the lead man out there on kickoff, and it's great to watch you. You play with a lot of aggression. You have heart, you have pride, you're out there to do your job, and that's great, buddy. You know, I know you stepped away from football for a few years, and you came back and returned as a Seminole your sophomore year last year. And you and I, we both talked about that, and I'm going to be quite honest with you. When during kickoff, when I'm on the sidelines and I watch the other players, they don't really care what that return man is going to do because they got their eyes on you. They know you're going to go down there and lay someone out or get laid out, or you know you're going to give it your all. So, what advice would you have for a kid? You know, you took a few years off. What advice would you have for a kid that was on the fence? Hey, I think I might want to play, or I don't want to play. Should I play?
I think everyone should play. Whether it's the two-a-days or the conditioning that's holding you back from it. I mean, when it comes Friday night, you won't regret any of it.
Yeah. Yeah, two-a-days are pretty tough. I remember as a freshman out there running speed laps, asking myself why in the heck I was even out here.
Yeah.
You know, I had upperclassmen, you know, Linehouse or Knowlton and Moose and all those guys that were going to see playing time way before I did. But, you know, I stuck it out, and it was a great experience. So back to Friday night, congratulations, you're the leading tackler on the football team with 8 tackles, and that's quite an accomplishment with a team that has so many seniors and a ton of talent, you know what I mean? So you got to fight for every tackle that you make, so that's awesome. And like I said, you play with a lot of heart and a lot of aggression. Tell us a little bit about your performance Friday night on special teams and defense.
Well, Coach Shoemaker and Coach Sherman's really been working with us, and just my teammates helping me out with every rep I get and my technique.
Good. There's no doubt you become a leader out there on special teams, particularly at kickoff. You've seen some playing time at linebacker, and there again, like I said, you've got some upperclassmen ahead of you that have played a lot of football in their lives, like Coop and AJ and Ethan and Stiver. And then you have the direction of Coach Shoemaker and the direction of Coach Sherman. Tell us a little bit about how that group has helped you develop as a linebacker.
Well, all 4 of them are pretty good leaders and just helping me with my technique, and Coach Shoemaker and Coach Sherman putting in countless hours with us.
Now, I know this is only week 2 of the season, but you know, I've seen it on the sidelines Friday night. There seems to be something a tiny bit different in this team than last year. You know, last year you guys were asked to restore the tradition of the program, and this year I kind of noticed a little more confidence and a little more cohesion. Can you tell us a little bit about what's taking place?
Yeah, well, we came off of a 7-5 season last year, and we have some pretty high expectations for this season. So we're just trying to get better every practice and every day.
Perfect. All right. Well, listen. We appreciate you taking time out of your evening and spending it with us, and congratulations once again, and continue to work hard because you're pretty impressive out there, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night flying around out there in that number 10 jersey.
Thank you.
Coach, you have anything to add on Braden?
Yeah, like you said, Braden did take some time off football, and you could kind of tell that he was a little behind on, you know, some knowledgeable things about football last year. But what he wasn't behind on was the physical nature of the game. Braden's not afraid to hit people. Very aggressive kid, kind of like a heat-seeking missile out there. Literally, goes with the ball very well. So I think once he gets, you know, the tools, the knowledge of the game, I think Braden's going to become a really good football player. Not that he's not now. I think he's just going to get better and better as the season goes on, and even in the next year. And you know, rumor has it, and it's not really rumor, it's the Dimmerling saying that he's the hardest hitting number 10 to ever wear that jersey, the Woods Field Runner Central jersey. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that's what the Dimmerlings say.
Yeah, well, I think that comes from Johnny Knowlton.
Oh, Johnny Knowlton getting called out.
Something to say that.
But he is. He's a great teammate. Like I said, just flies around the ball, and you're right about liking seeing him going down on kickoffs, covering punts. Anytime he's on defensive linebacker safety, he's always floating the ball and hitting people. So it's great to see, and I can't wait to see the rest of the year for him.
Yeah, absolutely, Larry. We wish you the best of luck this season, and we hope to see you on the field next year, all right?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, buddy, keep working hard.
All right.
We're going to take a short break and return in a second. Tucker Howe runs behind a couple of blocks for a 43-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, here we run a counter and get some good down blocks. A good block by Andrew Pick and Paul to seal the backside, and Tucker Howe does the rest.
Logan Powell intercepts a Belpre pass and returns it 33 yards for a Seminole touchdown.
We had went over this play many times in practice. I think Logan recognized the play, saw the wheel route, jumped it, and returned it for a touchdown.
Cooper Howe goes over left tackle for a 6-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, here we run power left. Ashton Blattis has a great down block. Cooper meets the kid at about the 1-yard line and runs through him.
Tyler Whitaker drives the Belpre defender back into the ball carrier, causing a fumble.
Tyler does a good job driving the center back into the pulling guard and the running back, which causes a fumble, and we jump on it.
Tucker Howe throws a fade to Chance Allen for Chance's first ever touchdown as a Seminole.
Yeah, here we run a fade to Chance. He does a great job at high pointing the ball and comes down with a touchdown.
Tucker Howe throws down the left seam to Tyler Whitaker for a 28-yard touchdown pass.
Come back and hit Whitaker down the seam. He does a good job of holding on the ball and taking the hit and getting in the end zone.
Chance Allen takes a short pass and makes his way down the sideline for a 78-yard touchdown reception.
Right here we throw a little quick screen to Chance. We got some good blocks from Tyler Whitaker and a great block from Cooper Howe. And Chance Allen does the rest and shows off a little speed.
Cooper Howe blasts over the left side for a 2-yard touchdown run.
We fake inside and then give it to Cooper over tackle, and once again he has to run over a guy at the 1-yard line.
Tucker Howe takes it around the left end for a 5-yard touchdown run.
Here again we're in our wishbone formation, and we've got plenty of blockers leading out for Tucker, and he gets it in there.
Ethan Gillespie steps in front of a Belpre pass and returns it 31 yards for a Seminole touchdown.
Here we've got Ethan, who we talked to before about the play. It looks like he steps down inside, read and run, and then gets back out in the passing lanes and steps in front of the ball and then has a nice little return.
When we return, we'll preview this week's opponent, the Bridgeport Bulldogs. Welcome back. Coach, week 2, it's here.
Yep.
So Bridgeport had a hard-fought win last Friday night against Frontier. They put up some numbers, scored 38 points, so they've got to have some weapons out there on offense, and I'm sure they do on defense as well.
Yeah, like you said, they're coming off, they're 1-0, coming off a nice win against Frontier, 38-34. The game, it started off kind of slow. It was 6-6 for a long time. Really, towards the end of the second quarter, it was even 6-6. And then the offense on both sides seemed to start getting going. The second half turned into kind of a shootout, really. Bridgeport went up late, 38-34, and Frontier actually drove the ball down to the 1-yard line with roughly 10 seconds left and just couldn't punch it in. So it's, exciting win for Bridgeport. I'm sure they're fired up, starting out 1-0, but they do have some skilled guys. Offensively, they run mainly shotgun. They have 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a wing. That's kind of their main offensive formation. They run a lot with the running back and quarterback. They're 2 really good, fast guys. Number 1, Jackie Threat is the quarterback. He's fast, elusive. The running back is A.J. Bishop, and just like the quarterback, they both have real speed. They're real speed players. They show us on the field. They like going outside. They don't go up the middle a lot. They like to get to the edge. But both of those guys can make plays, so we have to really contain both of those guys. And then they do look to run first, and they're not a big passing team, a lot of play action. But so they do like to run first, set up the pass. And then on the line, number 77, Logan Baker, he's about 6'1", 210. Really good looking player on both sides of the ball. Plays defensive tackle and offensive tackle. Tough kid, always around the ball making plays. So you know, we really got to do a good job blocking him. Defensively, they run a 4-4, it's kind of similar to Belpre, which is good. So we just kind of saw a similar defense. They didn't blitz a lot, other than blitz their outside backer once in a while, but they do have a pretty big defensive line. Big guy, 77 once again is the defensive tackle, and the other 3 guys are pretty big dudes. You know, we got to get them moved off the line. They don't move their feet the greatest, but they hold ground. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking to maybe get outside on things like that. We'll see how the game goes, but they're excited. Like I said, they've got a new coach this year. They're starting out 1-0. I don't know how many times Bridgeport has been 2-0 in the past few years, but I'm sure they're excited with the new coach, the 1-0 season. They're looking to go 2-0. You know what I mean? That's what they're looking to do, come here and go 2-0 against us. And we've just got to shut them down and for us to go 2-0. You know, that's our plan. So.
Yeah, it sounds like we could have our hands full. Our defensive line linebackers are definitely going to have to step up, stop the run, and you know, not get fooled by the play action.
Right.
Too. So, and I'm sure Coach Sherman and Coach Shoemaker will have those guys ready. So it'll be up to you guys to get the offense ready.
That's right.
You know, we fired on all cylinders last Friday. In my opinion, we made a few mistakes that we shouldn't have made or we can prevent, and I'm sure you guys are working on that this week. So look forward to tomorrow night. You know, 2-0. 2-0 sounds awful good, Coach.
It sure does. It sure does. Yeah, 2-0 is better than 1-1. So
absolutely,
that's what we're shooting for.
When we return, we'll talk about some of the upcoming dates and festivities leading up to tomorrow night's game. Welcome back. Before Coach gives his final comments, I want to share some game information with everyone who's watching this evening. Tomorrow night's game will be junior high night here at the field. We'll be featuring the junior high football team along with the cheerleaders. Also, there will be 50-50 ticket sales at both gates. There will also be game ball raffle tickets available that evening as well. We want to thank Traditions Restaurant for sponsoring tomorrow night's game ball. Joe and Chris Hoff, we appreciate it very much, and they've always been big supporters of Monroe Central football. And also, Traditions also purchased, I believe, 250 mini footballs, gold footballs with red lettering on them, Go Seminoles, compliments of Traditions Restaurant. So the cheerleaders will be throwing those out at each of our home games this season. So thanks again, Chris and Joe. Also, the sideliners will be selling sausage sandwiches just outside the gate. We'll start serving those around 5 p.m., $3 a sandwich, and if you want a double sausage sandwich, we'll sell them to you for $5. So you can't beat the deal. Football moms, we appreciate everything they do. They'll be selling programs at the gate as well, $5, and they'll also be selling apparel at the home game tomorrow evening as well. So that's just some of the game info, some of the key dates for the upcoming week. There'll be a JV game at home Tuesday, September 3rd at 6 p.m. against Bridgeport. This week's junior high game will be at home as well, September 5th at 6 p.m. against Bridgeport. And our youth football games are this Saturday, September 1st at Barnesville. The 3rd and 4th will start at 1:30, and the 5th and 6th graders will start at 3:30. So that's just some game info and key dates that we'll try to share with you every week so that you're prepared when you get here come game time. So, Coach, let's toss around some final comments about tomorrow night's game against the Bridgeport Bulldogs.
Yeah, like I said earlier, look like they're well coached. They've got a new coach. Look like they're well coached. Looks like a hungry team. Looks like they're going to be coming in ready to go. We have to match that intensity. And really just go out and play, similar football, fast physical football like we've been doing here for years. We should get the job done.
It's great, Coach. Listen, we thank everyone for joining us once again. We'll be with you every Thursday night at 9 o'clock. And do your best to join us next week when we preview the River Pirates.